everybody. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Jenna. If you are new, welcome to Queen of Diamonds. I hope you'll consider sticking around. I would love to have you here. And for those of you returning, thank you for coming back and tuning in. Today I'm here with a Thursday night WIP and Chat. This will go up on Friday. I hope you're all doing really well and that you've had a great week. Please let me know in the comments how you are all doing. I really do love to hear from you, so please let me know. Today I am here to show you, well, first let me tell you about the project I'm working on, then we'll start the WIP and Chat. For those of you who are new to diamond painting and you don't know what a WIP and Chat means, you can hear my guinea pigs. WIP stands for work in progress, and chat means we're just going to catch up and chat a little bit. Like I said, please in the comments, I would really love to hear how you're doing and what you're working on. You don't have to work on a diamond painting to listen to a WIP and Chat. You can work alongside me on any craft that you choose. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting, and it is from Diamond Art Club. It's titled Virgo by Dakota Detweiler. Let me find, I thought I had a picture of the original artwork. Well, I know I do in my logbook, but my logbook is not where it should be. Okay, unfortunately, that's weird. Oh, because I took it to work today. Okay, well, I do have this little, this doesn't do it justice, but I do have this little sticker from Diamond Art Club. It is a beautiful diamond painting. This really doesn't do it justice because you can't really see it. There's a lot of blues and really pretty flowers down at the bottom. As you know, for those of you who have been watching me for a while, I always start at the bottom right-hand corner and work my way in rows, and I kind of snake my way up. So I'm going to be laying down release paper because I have finished one row, and I thought I would lay down the release paper with you. But before I turn you so that you can see the canvas, let me show you all of the accessories I'm using for the WIP and Chat. First of all, I'm using a trinket tray. This is from Notorious Pixels. I finally found out the name of the shop that I ordered this from on Etsy. Isn't this pretty? It's a purple translucent color. I think it's fabulous. And it is a resin trinket tray. I have my WIP kit featuring all of my accessories right here. This is from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. And this is a new item that Shell just started carrying at Black Dahlia in June. Currently, she is restocking all of the 3D printed items, so they are not showing up on the shop, but they should be there. I think she said either this weekend or after this weekend. Anyway, if you check Black Dahlia Diamond Art and you don't see the WIP kits, check back in a day or two because they will probably be restocked. Well, I know she's going to restock them. Okay, and then I have my pen. I have a couple of different pens here, and there is a reason that I do. The pen I've been using for this kit is from Lathe Customs by Design, and it's been turned by Vicki Peterson. It's this really pretty, kind of a bluish, white and black marbled blank. Isn't that pretty? I really like the way that she turned this because it's nice and chunky, and I love it. Okay, so that is the pen that I have been using with this kit. However, my hand has really been hurting me tonight, so I might switch to my little palm placer from Jada Gem Shop. This was a mystery pen, and it's fabulous. There's just one hole. The other side doesn't have a hole, so you just put your multi-placer in this side, and you just use it in your palm. And it was a little hard for me to get used to right at first when I first got it. Now I use it a lot because my fingers get really fatigued, especially my thumb. So that always makes them feel better. The washi tape I'm using is from Simply Gilded, and it's this really pretty blue, kind of a bluish lavender colored star washi tape. And the putty I'm using is from Black Dahlia Diamond Art, and it is a Midnight Peony. It smells so good. This was from the summer collection last year. I was hoping this one would make a comeback, but you know, she can't bring all the scents back, and I like all of them, so what do you do? And then the wax I'm using in my single placer is from Pure Bliss Wax Company, and it's called Midnight Orchid. They both smell really great. But that Midnight Peony, love it. Okay. The cover minder I'm using is also from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. I just unboxed this today, actually. This is one of her new 3D printed items that will only be available for the month of July. And it is part of her What's Your Sign event. Well, it's not part of the event, but it's kind of coinciding with her What's Your Sign event. And this is the Zodiac Wheel. I also got these other two cover minders, which I don't even know why I didn't pull them down, but this is my sign. This is Cancer. And then this is very cool. So I'm just going to use the Zodiac Wheel for today's WIP and Chat, but maybe I'll just use all three of them. Okay, the release paper I'm using are from Bee's Crafty Corner, and they are the Virgo paper, and these are on Glossy Thick. And as you all know, I like my Bee's Crafty Corner paper cut in 4x4 sections, but you can pick whatever size sections you want when you order, because Bee's has lots of different size options available. Okay, let me change your angle so you can see this part, and then I will move you so that you can see facing down for the WIP and Chat. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this plastic up and lay down my release paper, and then I'm going to put my washi tape down. This Virgo paper is so pretty. I couldn't decide if I wanted to go with the Virgo paper or my sign paper, but the Virgo paper, because it's Virgo, kind of went with this kit, and it's just really pretty. So, you know, that's why I decided to do it. Okay. Just a couple more to go. Now, the section we are going to be working is going to be a little bigger than a 4x4 section, because as you can see, I've got like this, I don't know, 2x2 section and then a 4x4 section. So for now, I'm just going to put this paper on here, but when I pull the release paper up, I'm probably going to pull both of those up. Sometimes I don't mind working in a bigger section if it means that my release paper are evenly on the diamond painting. That's not a big deal to me. So I just put it there until I put my washi tape down, and then I'll take it back off. Okay, let's see. The guinea pigs are really talkative tonight. I just fed them their treats. That might be why. I've noticed that either they like the sound of my voice, which no one in my house seems to like the sound of my voice, or they just get really chattery in the evening. I'm not really sure. Okay. I'm gonna fold this plastic back nicely and kind of crease it back so that I'm not fighting with that the whole time. I'll put my cover minder on here. I've got my clamps on the board, but I'm gonna take those off for a minute. Okay. I'm probably gonna move this diamond painting down a little bit anyway, because just the way that I'm gonna have this set up. We're just gonna put all the sign cover minders on here. You know, it was funny because before I got Shell's package today, I did not know what cover minder to put with this kit, so I was just using a blue star that I got on Amazon a long time ago. Well, when I got her package today and unboxed it, I'm like, these are perfect for my diamond painting, because not only are they signs and the Zodiac Wheel, but they're blue and gold. I mean, it was like it clicked instantly that it would just work out perfectly. I know your accessories don't always have to match, I know, but try telling my head that, because my head just doesn't get it. All right, I'm gonna pull this down just a little bit. I've got my big Art Dot kit standing upright, which you can probably see, and I don't know if it's gonna stay. It might slide down. It just takes up a lot of room on my desk, but now that I'm moving this canvas down, it might not be too big of a deal. to lay it down, but I am going to try it standing up. Okay. Let me put these clamps back on and we are good to go. I'm going to bring my trinket tray over and we'll load up the pen with the putty and the wax and get that all taken care of. I need to put my, I need to grab a tray. I need to put my release paper in my WIP kit. Also, another pen that I've been using a lot of is this pen from Bistro Exclusives. I just saw this in the pen holder. I wanted to show it to you. This is so chunky and thick. Isn't it cute? But look at those pink ducks. I think they're so cute. And they're sitting in little patches of grass. And then this color, this mint green color is so pretty. And it kind of looks like water taffy in there. I think that's really fun. Anyway, that is another pen I've been using a lot because it's really wide and thick. I like it. But I'm going to try to use this pen because this is the pen I have been using with this kit, and also because I have been using the Jaded Gem Shop Mystery Pen quite a bit today, so I think I'm gonna take a break from that. I'm trying to find my tweezers. I should also mention that this little trash pot is from Wendy K's Designs on Etsy. I will link all of these shops in the description box of the video. I will even include my big Art Dot storage case for those of you who haven't seen that, because that's what my drills are in. So they're in this big flat that I took out of the Art Dot case. And over here I've got my Munimade drills, and on this side I've got Virgo. And it's easy to tell them apart because the stickers for Diamond Art Club and Munimade are so different. So, all right, let me change your angle and we will get started. These are the two sections we'll be working in, so I'll pull those up in just a moment, but I wanted to load up the pen with putty and wax. For those of you who are new to diamond painting or new to watching my channel, I like to use putty in my putty in my multi-placer and wax in my single placer. I didn't clean out the single placer end. I cleaned out my multi-placer, but I forgot to clean out the single placer. Oh my gosh, that wax, whatever it was in there, has gotten really hard. Okay. Let's start with the wax in the single placer end. Like I said, this is from Pure Bliss Wax Company and it's called Midnight Orchid, and I haven't even used this yet. So brand new, smooth surface. It smells really good. And then for those of you who are new to using wax alternatives, this one has kind of a softer texture, so I just very lightly scrape my single placer against the wax and just make sure that it goes in really good. If you overfill it, you'll have an overlay of wax on the sides like I just did. So you just want to clean that up a little bit. And then I like to press the single placer against my fingernail. You can press it against a sacrificial drill or any flat surface that is safe by being pressed on. And that should prepare your wax a little better so that you're not leaving a waxy residue on your drills when you place them on the canvas. But I'm more concerned with my multi-placer because I haven't really been using my single placer a whole lot. But I do like to have it loaded up and ready to go just in case I need it. Now let's load up the multi-placer. This multi-placer is from Diamond Art Club and it is a 6-placer, I believe. 6-placer. And I'm going to use my trinket tray to load the putty. So again, for those of you who have never used a putty or wax in your multi-placer, I'll just show you how this goes. As you can see, this putty has been well used. I mean, it was from last summer and it's one of my favorite scents. So you just press your multi-placer into it like you're pressing into cookie dough with a cookie cutter. And then like a cookie cutter, you just wiggle it around until you try to break off that putty. And then sometimes you'll need to give it a second go. I think this is loaded up perfectly though. I'm not going to do it a second time, but depending on the how dense the putty is on the little pad here, you might need to press it down once or twice to make sure that that well right here gets fully loaded with putty. But I only needed to do it the one time, so we're good with that. I'm going to slide this back in here and seal it up to keep it nice and fresh. The tray I am using for tonight's WIP and Chat was just one that I grabbed because it was nice and handy, or nice and close by, so it was handy. This is from Yellow Dog Designs, and this is from the event Just Breathe. So that is what the top of the tray looks like, and I don't know what color this is. It's a really pretty kind of lavender silverish color. It's very pretty, and I just happen to have it out on my desk, so that's kind of why I grabbed it, but it does somewhat match this kit. All right, I'm going to move my cover minders a little bit to make room for my trinket tray. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta put my hair back because my AC is off for a minute anyway, and I'm getting kind of hot. So I'm gonna clip my hair back really fast, but it'll probably turn back on. I think I better grab some water. Okay, I got my water, and now I'm good to go. It's so important to stay hydrated. The heat is so bad in the summertime that I often find I'm not starting to drink water until evening, and then I'm just so parched. But I have been trying to be more aware of how much water I'm taking in during the day, so that's good, but I do always have to have water nonetheless. All right, I've got my light board light on, and we are set. I can't think of anything else that I need, so. Okay, I'm gonna start down in the bottom right-hand corner and move my way this way. So I just go with whatever symbols I come across until I have hit all the symbols in the section. Looks like the first symbol is gonna be the number 5, which is 154. I'm gonna bring this down because it's looking like it's gonna fall. So, time to rearrange things a little bit here. Oh my goodness. I thought I had everything all set, but I don't want that to collapse while we're in the middle of our WIP and Chat. Plus it would scare the guinea pigs, and I'm trying to get them acquainted with their environment. As soon as they're a little more acquainted, the babies, I will show them to you on camera. They're so cute. Okay, I just did a kitten chat on, what was it, Tuesday, I believe. Well, I filmed it on Tuesday, but it went up on Wednesday. So I updated you on the guinea pig situation in that kitten chat, but for those of you who maybe didn't watch it, I rehomed Alfie, which was the big adult guinea pig that I adopted, and he's much happier. He's doing very well. My guinea pigs are much happier now. I did get 2 more, so I have a total of 4, and I will not be getting any more, and hopefully we are set with the group I have. It seems like everybody's really content. I took my daughter's 2 new babies that were both male, and I took them firstly because she needed to get them out of there so we wouldn't have any more pregnant guinea pigs, but we didn't want to have any more oopsies. But then when I got them and put them in with my guinea pigs, they just are so cute. So they are Clancy's babies, and I was teasing my girls when we brought them home that Clancy was going to have full custody of his children. That's basically what it is. There were a total of 3 babies with Clancy, and Dulcie Bear is the name of the female that had them. And there were 3 babies, 1 girl and 2 boys, and she kept the girl, my daughter did, and the boys came with me, and so we put them in. Originally I was thinking that one of them might be a good roommate for Alfie, but Alfie wasn't having it. And then I couldn't really justify continuing to keep Alfie because he was taking up a whole half of the cage all by himself. And he was probably pretty miserable being in that small of a space. He handled it well at first, but then he started getting kind of moody, and I think it was just the space. I mean, I know he had to have known he was being treated well here, but they don't do well if they don't have a lot of room to roam around. So I think that was causing him to be a little nippy with us and a little on edge. So when I put a new guinea pig in with him, one of the babies, he was not taking to it at all. And he was actually kind of being a bully to the baby. So I quickly scooped the baby out and put the baby in with his brother and his dad and Milo. And Milo and Clancy were really welcoming to both of the babies. And they've been really cute. Milo and Clancy really take care of these babies. It's adorable to watch, actually. Clancy, when we first put him in, Milo just kind of shied away from him. He wasn't really, I think he was just kind of observing them and not wanting to be too active with the babies. But then Clancy immediately took to him and was cleaning, like licking their ears and taking care of them. It was so cute. And so when I put the other baby in, Clancy took well to that one too. So now I've got the 4 of them together. They have more room, and mine are happier, and Alfie seems to be happier too in his new home. So that's good. It was really a hard decision because I don't like to rehome pets once I have them. But Alfie, my daughter reminded me that it was a trial type situation. We got him hoping that he would get along with Clancy and Milo, but we knew there was a chance he wouldn't. And I was kind of convinced to do it. And I knew my gut was telling me not to do it, but anyway. I felt pretty good about doing these 2 babies. I'm hoping that you're able to see this okay. I think you can. I just zoomed in a little bit. Hopefully that will help. Anyway, so that's the situation with the guinea pigs for any of you that didn't watch the kitten chat. As far as working out of the trays, it was funny because I received some comments about putting the tray tower sideways. It's the Forever Young trays, and I didn't think of that on my own. I wish I could say that I did, but I didn't. And so when I read that, I was like, okay, well, I'll try putting them on the side. Oh yeah, 100% better. But I gotta tell you, I'm still trying to, it's like a learning curve, I think, trying to work out of trays. Maybe it's the kind of trays I bought. I'm not sure, but it's not my favorite. But like I said, I'm still trying to get used to it, and maybe it's just a matter of getting adjusted to working out of trays. But these trays have a lid that kind of flips over, and the lid gets in my way a lot of the time. So that has caused me to spill drills, and yeah, like I said though, I think maybe I'm just needing to get used to it. I'm going to plug my phone in, and I think I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Now the tripod is just not so much in my way. It was kind of in my way. All right, that's much better. Anyway, so I think that I just need to get used to working out of the trays that I'm using. I think it would be entirely different if I was using trays I was already used to in a tray tower. So that is also something that I've been thinking about as well. But I do like the tray setup, the Forever Young tray setup. I like how it's in that big tower compartment type thing, and it sits, now that I've got it sitting sideways, that's much better for taking the trays out one by one because they don't all collapse, and I have to go back I had to go back and find where I pulled one out from, and that was a little time consuming. But now that I've got it laying on its side, it's like pulling books off of a bookshelf, much better. So that's good. And then that Oraloa kit, oh my gosh, that is a fabulous diamond painting too. So I'm enjoying that kit a lot. But as far as, giving it a fair review, the trays, I'm going to wait until I've given it some more time before I can determine if it's just a learning curve type thing or if I truly feel the way I feel about it. But I'm going to give it more time. Anyway, for those of you waiting to hear my opinion about the Forever Young trays, I'm not ready to give an opinion just yet. So you might want to hold off on buying them until I can tell you a little better, because I'd hate to have you buy something that I end up saying isn't worth it, but we'll see. I pretty much updated you guys on everything that I had with that kitten chat on Wednesday, but I don't know, for those of you who didn't watch it, I can recap shortly, or recap quickly, I should say. I had a really great 4th of July and worked most of it, but it was really good. The update about the guinea pigs I already gave you. Fallon's doing really well still. He's doing great. And then I just talked about my 4th of July, and I won't recap all of that, but Sydney is still looking for a job. That's my youngest. And Allie is working away. She got asked to do a project at work, which is pretty incredible when you think that she's only 19 and she's already taking on a huge project at work. That's pretty cool. Kennedy has a new car and her license, and she's doing very well. So we're all doing well here. I'm just enjoying the summertime. I love summer. Even though it's really hot outside, in my opinion, hot is better than winter. So I try not to complain about the heat, because here in a couple of months, I'm going to want that heat back bad. So I try to not complain about the heat. Anyway, and we do have a pool here at our apartment complex. I need to go with my kids and use it. It used to be when my kids were younger, I would take them to the pool, and of course this was pre-skin cancer, but I used to take them to the pool and I would lay out while they just played around in the water. I mean, sometimes I'd get in and play with them too, but for the most part, they were, old enough that they could be left with minimal supervision. I don't want to say left alone in the pool, because I didn't leave them alone, but I was able to lay out or get to know neighbors or whatever while I was watching them at the pool. But now that they're a little older, it's, those days are over, sadly. I really miss those days, because yes, I can't go hang out in the sun without sunblock, but even with sunblock, it sure feels good to soak in some of those sun rays. I just love the vitamin D effect. It really does affect me big time. So I need to do that. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, that was my youngest. Anyway, so I don't remember what I was talking about. Pardon the interruption. Oh my gosh, my dog wants to come in my room, then he wants to go back out of my room. Then he'll want to come back in. Ugh, it's a cycle of boredom, I think. Oh, I was going to say, so I haven't been out in the sun, and I also haven't been spray tanning. I stopped spray tanning a couple of months ago, and so I am looking very pale for me. I don't know that I've ever not been in the sun of some kind, so this is hard for me to get used to, but it's also healthier, and I'm trying to keep that in mind. I mean, spray tanning isn't unhealthy by any means. It's totally not anything harmful at all. But I just gave it up because I didn't have the time to go as often as I needed to make it worth it to pay for a monthly membership. So I kind of just gave up my membership, and yeah. So I do miss it sometimes, but it's fine. It is what it is. Okay, let Fallon back out of my room. All right, for now, he's taken care of. Yeah, Fallon is doing this weird thing where I don't know if it's boredom, I'm not sure, but he is playing musical rooms all evenings now. And it's really like, make up your mind. Make up your mind, dude. Do you want to come in or go out? But it's like he's so bored. He just wants to go from room to room to see what everybody's doing. And it wouldn't be a big deal if my bedroom door wasn't shut, but because I have the guinea pigs in here and we don't want the cats to get in here, I have to keep my door shut. We have been bringing the cats in to introduce them to the guinea pigs, but I'm not sure if it's even fair to do that because I'm still not letting them in my room. So at this point, is it torture for them to come in and see these new friends and then still not be let in my room? Or, yeah, I don't know. But I was thinking about it, and I'm pretty certain that I've had a guinea pig and a cat at the same time before. When Allie and Sydney's dad and I when we were married, we had a Rottweiler named Cairo, and we had a cat named Jack, and my brother, who passed away, bought my oldest daughter, she was 5 at the time, he bought her a guinea pig named Elvis, and we had all three of those pets at the same time. And I don't remember Jack or Cairo ever bothering that guinea pig. But keep in mind that that guinea pig was in an enclosed cage. These guys are in an open top cage. So that's a little bit of a different story. Like, I would never let the cats in here unsupervised with that open top cage because I feel like that would be a recipe for disaster. But even with the cage, if it were closed, I don't know that I would do it. It kind of makes me a little uneasy. And my female cat, Ione, has hunted mice before. She has not always been an indoor cat, but she has for most of her life. So what happened was Ione had a sister named Mitty. Well, they were not direct sisters. I think they had the same mom, but they were from different litters. And Mitty was my ex-fiance's son's cat. So what had happened is my daughter Kennedy takes after me in the sense that she is a sucker for animals, especially animals that have a sad story. And so what happened is she had a friend who lived on a farm, and on the farm they had a shed where they kept their cats, and the cats kept having babies. Now, there's a lot to this story that obviously is a problem, and I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but one of the things that I had an issue with was that there were cats living in the shed that weren't being cared for. And I had Fallon, and I had told her I was not going to have a cat, which I've talked about in previous WIP and Chats. But Kennedy was really persistent in wanting a cat, and she brought a kitten home. It was about time for her 16th birthday, and maybe it was 17th. And she brought a cat home, a kitten, and said, "Mom, this is one of the kittens that was in so-and-so shed, and I would really like to keep it." And I was sucked in immediately. It's the little teeny tiny ball of white fluff, And I'm a sucker for a cat being cared for properly. So I'm like, all right. So we keep the cat. And then my ex-fiance and I decided to move in together. But right before we moved in, his son that was living with him had said, "So Dad, there's no way you're going to let me get a cat." And my ex-fiance said, "No, I'm not letting you get a cat." And I said, "Well, that's too bad, because the cat that the owner we got Ione from has other cats living out in the shed. And my ex-fiance's son, he was 23 at the time, I think. Anyway, his son said, "Dad, there are cats living in a shed," and it was winter. And his dad said, "No, we're not getting a cat." Well, Kennedy sent a video of the cat to my ex-fiance's son because they had exchanged social media info social media accounts. And so he showed his dad while I was over there watching a movie one night. And his dad said, "Oh my gosh, it's living in a shed." And his son said, "Yeah, isn't that so sad?" And my ex-fiance said, "Okay, go get the cat then." So he and I rode out to the farm and got the cat, me and his son. And it was pretty cool because she was gorgeous, this gray, beautiful cat. And so at that point, Ione was mostly an indoor cat, but we kept her indoors. So at that point, she was just an indoor cat. Well, so we named this cat Mitty because she was gray, all gray with white mittens basically on her hands. And so he named her Mitty. So we brought Mitty home and she took to my ex-fiance. So that was her person. Well, his son too, but she would get on his back while he was painting or doing whatever, and she was always just right with him. It was the cutest thing. So they were really bonded with this beautiful cat. Well, when we moved in together, the cats were allowed to be outside because there was a doggy door. So they could go in and out whenever they wanted. And we lived on a pretty quiet little road. He still lives in the house, but it wasn't a busy road by any means. It was kind of quiet. And one night, she got hit by a car, and it was horrible. Not Ione, obviously, but Mitty. And Ione was outside with her when she got hit. Actually, they were both in the road. And I didn't even know that Mitty had been hit at that point. I came rolling up to the house, and I saw both of the cats in the middle of the street and knew immediately that they were ours, but to me, they looked fine. So I parked the car, and as I was pulling in the driveway, I looked in the rearview mirror, and one of them darted off, and the other one was just laying there. And I said to my daughter, I said, "Don't look, but I think that's Mitty in the road, and I think she's been hit." And Sydney was just immediately crying, And so I got out of the car, and I didn't want to go look. I was too sad to go look. But Ione came running right as we were getting out of the car. And I again reminded my daughter not to go look. And I said, "Let's just go right in the house and I'll get the guys and have them come out and see." Well, I went in and I said, "Please tell me that you guys have Mitty down there," because they were both downstairs gaming. And they yelled up and said, "No, why?" And I said, "There is a gray cat in the middle of the road and I'm pretty sure it's been hit." And they both just came running up the stairs and went outside, and I could hear them wailing. Both of the men were out there crying over this cat. It was really devastating. It was so sad. So after that, we kept Ione in the house. I couldn't handle it again to happen to another cat. So we kept her in the house. Now, every once in a while, she would escape and go out, but for the most part, she was indoors going forward after that. And it was hard because she was used to being outside, but I wasn't about to let that happen to another cat. So ever since then, Ione has been inside. Well, in my last house, Ione would every now and then manage to get through the door when we were coming in through the door. And she would go right outside under the rose bush, right outside my front door. Well, there were mice in the rose bush, and I knew they were in there, but we never saw them. I could hear them every once in a while, and I saw mouse droppings when I was out gardening, but I never saw the mice themselves. Well, Ione came running outside one night. I picked her up quickly, grabbed her, and she did go to towards the rose bush, but she didn't quite go under it. I picked her up, grabbed her, opened the front door, and set her down inside. And I was kind of frustrated with her because she kept doing that. And it was getting to the point where I was getting really frustrated because I didn't want her to be outside. Well, when I put her down, she took off really fast up the stairs, which was unusual. And I was like, that's weird. Well, she took off into one of the bedrooms and she disappeared. Well, I was carrying groceries in. So at that point, I was, lost in my own busy thoughts about getting the groceries in. Well, about 5 minutes after, my daughter and I were standing in the kitchen putting groceries away, and all 3 of the cats just took off, and they were obviously chasing something. And I walked over to where they were to see what it was they were chasing, and it was this little teeny tiny baby mouse that Ione had grabbed when she went outside. And she grabbed that sucker so fast from outside because she wasn't out there for very long. I mean, literally, she went out there, went towards the rose bush, and I grabbed her and pulled her back in. So she had not been very long. She must have just caught that mouse in the nick of time. But this little mouse that was in our house was no bigger than like a silver dollar. It was pretty small. And I'm not too scared of mice. Now, if it had been a spider, you would have heard some screaming coming from my house. I don't do spiders. Snakes and mice, as long as I know the snake's not poisonous, it's not going to bother me too bad. Mice, I'm not too worried about mice, but they are kind of nasty because they can carry diseases and so forth. So I don't love them in my house, but they don't scare me. So we could not find this mouse. I mean, it took off and the cats were chasing it, but they hadn't caught it. And my youngest was petrified of the cats getting the mouse because she didn't want the mouse to die. So she set little traps around the house trying to lure it in so that she could save the mouse. And it ended up going into her bedroom that night. And we know this because we saw it in her bedroom. And it was almost as though that mouse knew it was safe in her bedroom. So it hung out in her bedroom for, I want to say, just a day. And then one night during the night, Ione got it because I woke up and it was on my floor. So Ione was the only one that was out of a bedroom that night. So it had to have been Ione that got it. But I guess she wanted to finish what she started with that little baby mouse or something. Anyway, so I get a little worried because I know Ione will chase a mouse. And even though guinea pigs are not mice or rats of any kind, they kind of do have that look about them that I think a cat would mistake them for, a rodent or some kind of thing like that. But anyway, I just don't want the guinea pigs to get hurt. So my big thing is the cats aren't allowed in my bedroom anyway, but I just don't want them to accidentally get in and feel like they can get into the cage. So we just have to be really careful about making sure they don't come in my room. But like I said, it's not just because of the guinea pigs. I haven't wanted them in my room since we moved in here because in my last house they pretty much trashed my bedroom. So I didn't want that to happen again. And it's funny because they didn't trash anybody else's bedroom. It was mine. But anyway, so that's the scoop with the guinea pigs and why I don't want the cats around them. I just think it's better to not let them even get used to the idea of being around them. I don't know. Anyway, so let me know if any of you have cats and guinea pigs. But like I said, I have had a combination of animals like this before, but we had an enclosed cage. So I don't think there was any real harm that could come to the guinea pigs with the cat anyway, because they were closed into a cage. But this kind of cage is much easier on my back, and it allows me to clean it a lot easier and a lot more frequently because it's not jacking up my back every time I clean it. So that's kind of why I wanted to go with the open top cage. But yeah. So anyway, okay, other than that, what else has been going on? I have been, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. There is a show that I have started watching recently called Landman, and it is by the same guy who did Yellowstone, and I think he did I know he did the 1883 and 1923, something like that. Anyway, it's Taylor Sheridan, and he is an amazing director. So or producer, I'm not sure which, but he made this show called Landman, and it has Billy Bob Thornton in it, and gosh, I can't remember if there were any other actors. Yes, Michael Haim, is that his name? Mad Men? Oh, I have such a hard crush on that actor. He's really good looking, in my opinion. But he's in it, and I can't remember who else, but it has a pretty good cast. And I started watching it, and I'm really into that show. I want to go back and watch it all again. This is what I did with Yellowstone. I watched it all the way through, and then I went back and watched it again. It's some weird thing in my brain that I do that. I don't know. It's like with Breaking Bad. I've probably seen Breaking Bad all the way through at least a dozen times. At least a dozen. I mean, probably twice that many times. I love Breaking Bad. But Yellowstone is another show I really like. And Landman is much of the same type of really good acting, really good casting, really good storyline. I just think it's an amazing show. So it's on Paramount, but I'm trying to decide if I want to sign up for a Paramount subscription, because there are some new shows coming out by Taylor Sheridan. Unless they've already started, I'm not sure. I think they might start this fall, but I would like to have access to see those. So I don't know. Paramount's one of those that I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna get it or not. But I do have a friend that has Paramount, and that's how I started watching Landman. So it's so good. It's so good. So if you're into shows like that, check out Landman. And you know what's funny is in the very beginning of that series, it is a series. At the very beginning of that series, the first episode, I recognized Billy Bob Thornton's voice immediately. Billy Bob Thornton is such a good actor. He's really an underrated actor, in my opinion. I think he's fantastic. And the whole premise of the show is just really good. Anyway, so yeah, that's great. And then let me think. I watched a couple of other shows. Oh, I watched the oh my gosh, why can't I think of what I watched? I wanted to tell you guys about it too. There have been a couple of documentaries that I've been watching. Oh, I've been watching Unsolved Mysteries. That's what I was going to tell you. I love Unsolved Mysteries. There's a whole season out that I didn't even know was available. So I've been watching that. And I love any of the documentaries on Netflix. I've probably seen them because I've just, over the course of however long, I always try to keep up on the latest documentaries, especially true crime. I love true crime documentaries. So that's good. And then I've been listening to the Mel Robbins Let Them Theory book. And I haven't been listening to any other books, but the new Jack Carr book, I believe, is out now. So that's the series that I've been reading, and it is the author Jack Carr, who's a retired Navy SEAL, and he lives here in Utah. He lives in Park City, actually, but he is an amazing author, and I really love his Terminal List series of books. There are 6 or 8 books in the series at this point, but he has a brand new one that just came out, and it's the prequel to the rest of his books. So it's the story about his father, and it takes place in the 60s, maybe early 70s, something like that. So I'm very curious to read that. So the main character of his books is oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. Why am I drawing a blank on everything I'm trying to think of tonight? I don't know. But anyway, it's just a really good series. So I like the Terminal List series. There's been, like I said, 6 or 8 of those, and I've loved every single one of them. They're amazing books. Okay. James Reese is the main character's name on the Terminal List. That was going to bug me if I didn't find out who it was. So James Reese. And this new book that was just released, or is just getting ready to release, I think it was released on July 4th. It is about his dad, Tom Reese. So I'm really excited to listen to that one on Audible. I love stories like that. And then, what else has been going on? Work has been going really well. My aunt is doing very well. She was so funny today. She was really feisty. She watched The Abyss today, which I don't know if you remember that show. It's from, I want to say, the late 80s, maybe early 90s. Maybe I'm way off on that, but it has Ed Harris in it, and I can't remember the name of the main character. Anyway, the main actress, I mean. But that's a really good show. It's about the underwater drilling company, and that's awesome. So if that's something that you're interested in, you should check that out. It was on Disney Plus. That's where she watched it. And while she was watching it, I was kind of watching it every now and then, and I forgot how much I like that show. She also watched E.T. this week, and she loves her NCIS and Once Upon a Time. Those are the 2 series that she loves to watch. She spends a lot of time in the basement in the summertime because it's cooler down there, and that's where I'm at because my mom and dad's upstairs is really hot. And the heat really bothers me. I think because I'm past pre-menopause. I'm not even supposed to be in menopause, but I'm past pre-menopause, and now I'm at the point where I don't have the hot flashes anymore, but oh my gosh, the heat really does bother me. It's never bothered me this much in my life. And I would much rather be hot than cold, but there's like suffocating heat, and then there's heat where I'm choosing to be out in the heat. I dropped a drill. There we go. So, at work, this is interesting. I don't know what struck my mood, but on Monday or Tuesday, it was Tuesday. I had been working on Lady with Fan at work, which is my Gustav Klimt for the summertime, my old master's kit that I'm working on this summer. I had been working on that one, but I finished the row and decided I wanted to take a little break from that. Now I've got Liberty Celebration at work, so I was just going to work on that after I had finished the row of Lady with Fan. But I decided, oh my gosh, I just realized I put these where the hearts are, and they go where the triangles are. So I'm gonna fix that real quick. You guys You've probably noticed that I was doing that, and you were probably yelling at me through the screen saying, Jenna, you're putting the wrong color on the wrong symbol. So let me just fix this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. Silly, silly. Anyway, while I'm pulling all these drills up and putting them on the correct symbols, what I was going to tell you is, the heat really bothers me. And it's not, if I choose to be out in the heat, that's one thing. But if it's like hot and suffocating, I just flipped a drill. If it's hot and suffocating type heat, I don't do well with that. And so, are those all the triangles? I guess they are. Okay. I have to remember what I'm doing here. I don't do well with that. So I don't know. I stay in the basement most of the time when I'm at work. But that's where my aunt is too. And she'll come over to the diamond painting table with me and do activities while I'm sitting at my table. Sometimes I'll do the activities with her. But for the most part, we are downstairs because it's just too hot. I mean, my mom and dad get really sensitive about the heat, so they keep it up to like 76 inside the house, and for me that's just really hot. But the basement is cooler. Now I realize not every state has a basement, so let me explain what that is. Because when I went to live in Indiana for a short time, which is where I met my first husband, they didn't have basements in their houses in general. I don't know if any of them did, actually. But for the most part, nobody knew what a basement was when I was telling them, oh yeah, my mom and dad have a food storage in their basement or whatever I was talking about. They're like, a basement? What is that? And I'm like, you don't know what a basement is? Well, yeah, they don't, because they don't have basements there, which is surprising because they do get tornadoes, and you would think the basement would be a little bit safer during a tornado, because don't they make tornado shelters underground? Anyway, so for those of you who don't know what a basement is, it's basically a level of your house that's underground, but you still have to have like window access and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I'm just scratching up that drill. So that is what a basement is. So in the basement, it's a lot cooler because it's underground, but that's where my aunt has like her recliner, and she's comfortable down there watching TV. Okay, those are on the right symbols. So I think I've got them all now. Yeah. Anyway, so now that I had to correct that mistake. Anyway, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. So on Tuesday, when I finished the row of Lady with Fan, I actually finished it Monday. I was just going to go to work the next day and pull out Liberty Celebration. Gosh, sorry, I scared my guinea pigs. These drills are stuck now because they have a little bit of glue on them from the canvas. Sorry, guys. Did you hear them chew me out for being loud? They don't like being scared. Poor guineas. Anyway, now I can't remember what I was saying. It'll come back to me. What was I talking about? Sorry, I'm still hung up on that mistake I made. That was silly. About my diamond painting. So I was just going to go to work on Tuesday and pull out Liberty Celebration and try to knock out some more of that before the end of the month. I mean, we're not even to the middle of the month yet, so I had plenty of time to work on Liberty Celebration. Well, I was getting ready that morning, Tuesday morning, to go to work, and I thought, I'm in the mood to work on Emerald Beauty, which is my really big one from Creativity Squirrel. And I needed to work on it anyway because I'm trying to finish up all of my rows so that I don't leave off a partially covered row with release paper, because I really don't like the diamond paintings to sit with release paper any more than I need to. So I had 2 sections left, and then my row would have been complete on Emerald Beauty. So I decided to bring Emerald Beauty to work, which was quite an undertaking because it's a really big diamond painting. So I had to make a few trips out to the car with the diamond painting and all the accessories for that kit. But I did it, and then I got to work, set Emerald Beauty up, and I did the 2 sections, and then I was like, I'm really enjoying this kit. So I put a new row down and kept working on it. So today I finished the 2nd row, and I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow, but I might just keep working on it. Tomorrow will either be Emerald Beauty or Liberty Celebration. I'm not sure. But I'm also going to work on some of my other WIPs this month as well. But I really like that diamond painting from Oraloa, Miss Ocean. That's been a good experience so far. And my new to me shop for the month is Shimmering Canvases, and that is actually a really pretty canvas too. It came with a lot of specialty drills as kind of a little bonus with the kit, and that's really a fun one to work on also. So I might pull that back out this weekend and work on that a little bit. But I am going to be bringing, I don't like to have 3 WIPs at my mom and dad's house, so I am going to be bringing at least one here, whether it's Liberty Celebration or Emerald Beauty, I'm not sure, but one or both of those kits will be coming back with me tomorrow after work. And then I will kind of take it from there as far as which one I want to work on. But it's been kind of fun. Every now and then I really like getting one of my older WIPs out and working on them. So I don't know which one I'm going to target yet this month. I have a couple in mind that I'd like to wrap up. So I'll just see how I feel this weekend. I'll get a feel for what I'm in the mood to do, and then whatever I decide this weekend will be the one that I'm going to target for the month, and then that will go to work with me. I'm probably not going to work on Lady with Fan anymore for at least a few weeks, because I want to get some of my other canvases done. So anyway, that's where I'm at with my WIPs. I just love being able to rotate through WIPs. For me, it helps me not get burned out if I can rotate through my WIPs and have some squares, some rounds, some smaller, some larger, lots of different color palettes, lots of different images. It's just, for me, it's fun. I know it's not for everybody. I get asked frequently, how do you have so many WIPs? I'd go crazy. Well, yeah, I get that. I totally understand. It's definitely not something that everybody wants to do, and I get it. I don't know what I'd do if I only had 1 or 2 WIPs anymore. I've got to think about that, because my initial thought was to get all of my WIPs done before the end of the year. But I don't think that's going to happen. And now I just don't know, even if it were to happen, if I could, sorry, I took a drink of my water, if I could be without lots of different WIPs. It's just kind of one of those things that I've gotten used to now. And I really do enjoy being able to, decide that day what I'm in the mood to work on. The taking one to work with me every day has really been working out well, though. Or not taking one to work every day, taking one to work every month and leaving it there to get it done works out really well. But this month I haven't really been following that too much, because I don't necessarily want to finish Lady with Fan this month. So I'm kind of putting that one on hold for a minute. That's the one that has been at work. But I will not be bringing Lady with Fan home because of the size of the canvas. And it's not something that it's not a canvas that is easily rolled up either. But even if I only rolled it up one way, it's 75 by 75 centimeters. So it's just going to be a hard size to maneuver on my desk. But at work, like I said, I've got the A1 light board there, so it's a little bit more, it's a little easier to work on there So I've been keeping that one at work, and I mean, that one, the colors are so vibrant and pretty. I just love it. It's been a long time since I've done a Diamond Dots kit, but it's just been a really good experience working on a Diamond Dots diamond painting. So I will leave that one at work, but it won't be my primary project this month. I've got to decide. My primary project at work is still yet to be determined. So I'll be deciding that this week. I might take Colors of Life over there, or I might just take one of my summertime kits. I'm not sure. But this past week, to my surprise, it was Emerald Beauty. For some reason, I was just really in the mood to work on that one. So I have been really enjoying that one. As long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to keep going. I mean, that's the point of having my different WIPs, is just to pull one out that I'm in the mood to work on and kind of just let my mood decide what I'm going to do. Yeah. You can hear the guinea pigs rattling around in their cage. It's so cute because I really like the 4 of these guys together, because they chase each other around and kind of play with each other, and they don't chase each other in a mean way. They chase each other in a playful kind of way, whereas with Alfie and Clancy, it was definitely a mean type of chasing, because they were nipping at each other and fluffed up and teeth chattering. That's not what these guys are doing. These guys just chase each other more in kind of a cutesy way. And my 2 babies are so friendly. Like Clancy Jr., his name is Flash, but I call him Clancy Jr. We should actually, I told Kennedy to call him CJ, but she wasn't going for that. But I thought CJ was really cute, but Flash fits him too, because he's such a fast little bugger. But Flash is so fast, but they're both very friendly, Flash and Keanu. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm hearing a bell ringing outside. I don't know if you can hear that. My window is shut, but my windows are very thin, so I still hear everything. It's so weird that I'm hearing that. Anyways, so what I was going to say about the guinea pigs is it's really cute, because at night when I'm laying in bed, I'll hear them scampering around their cage playing. It's just cute. And they'll make all their cooing sounds when I'm laying in bed, and it's kind of soothing, honestly. I don't know how soothing Fallon thinks it is, but I think it's soothing. I don't think the guinea pigs bother Fallon at all. Like, I don't think he's even fazed that they're in here. Although he and Clancy are really good friends. Clancy loves Fallon. Ever since he was little. Ever since Clancy was just a baby, he would come up to the cage whenever Fallon was in the room. Did I only have that one symbol? Oh my gosh, I guess I did. He would always come up to the cage when Fallon would come close to the cage, and he would just stare at Fallon, and sometimes his head would follow Fallon across the room as Fallon walked around the room. It was cute. He still does that. The other ones, not so much, but Clancy really bonded with Fallon, I think, at an early age. But Keanu and Flash are just really very friendly. All 4 of mine right now are very friendly, which I'm loving, because I couldn't get Alfie to be my friend, and it was starting to make me feel insecure. Just kidding. No, it didn't. But it is nice to have animals that like my presence instead of one that's annoyed with me all the time. I mean, I already have kids that are annoyed with me all the time. I don't need my guinea pigs to be annoyed too. So I have a question for all of you out there. I'm yawning again. Have any of you ever had a Yorkie? The reason I'm asking is I'm really kind of perplexed about some behavior issues with Fallon, and it's really not that big of a deal, but it's just kind of one of those things where Fallon's really a smart dog, and he's very routine oriented. Like, he knows what time in the afternoon we're supposed to be getting off work, and if we stay later than we're supposed to be there, he starts getting really antsy. But that I understand. I'm not questioning that behavior, but I am a little bit concerned about his barking. He barks a lot at anybody that comes in contact with my aunt. He's very protective of Sid, and the barking is just getting worse. Like, every month it's worse than it was the month before. And you know, my dad's very hard of hearing, and he wears hearing aids. Well, Fallon's bark is very loud and very high pitched. And my dad about jumps out of his chair every time Fallon goes on one of the barking frenzies. And there's no way that you can talk Fallon out of the barking. Like, once he's in it, it's like he's like in a trance where he won't come out of it. And he's relentless until he'll finally stop. And I don't know what it is that makes him stop. My mom says it's when I tell him to stop. No, it's not. Like, I can tell him to stop 5 times and he won't listen. But then he finally listens on the 6th time. And my mom says, see, he listens to you. And I'm like, no, it's not listening to me. That's for sure. It's just, he gets really, you know, it's like he's inconsolable with his barking. And oh my gosh, it's just, I don't know what to do. I have tried a squirt bottle with water. I've tried my ex-fiance and I had a barking collar, but it wasn't a shock collar, although we did have that option on the collar if we wanted to use it. We just used the vibrating side. That didn't help. And I've tried a barking tool that's like a handheld device that puts off a sound only Fallon can hear in his ears. That doesn't work. And I've tried medicating him. None of it works. Even if I find something that works, it'll only work for about a week, and then he doesn't care about it anymore. It's like, oh, well, that was fun that you stopped me from barking, but let me remind you that you can't really stop me. So he'll just start back up again, and I don't know what to do. I'm really kind of at a loss, because my mom and dad don't mind me bringing Fallon to work, but it is getting to the point where I'm afraid they're going to say, you know, let's not bring the dog anymore. And the problem is I can't leave him here, because most of the time there's nobody here to let him out. So he kind of has to come with me. I like having him with me when he's not barking, but it's just that small percentage of the time that he barks. I don't know what to do. Anyway, it just keeps getting worse, and I'm not sure. Maybe it was a training issue, and maybe I screwed that up when he was a puppy, but I don't feel like he barked a lot when he was a baby. Maybe once in a while, but nothing like now. Like I said, it gets worse month after month, and I just don't know what to do. Anyway, so I was just wondering if any of you had experience with, maybe it's a breed thing or a dog that barks like that relentlessly, and if you found a non-harmful way to deal with that. I'm not into physically restraining a dog from barking. I won't do that, but yeah. Anyway, let me know what you suggest if you have anything. I don't know what to do. Other than that, I don't think there's too much to update you on. It's been pretty, most of what I wanted to tell you, I already went over in the kitten chat this week, but I did a WIP and Chat because I wanted to stay on a Thursday night routine of doing my WIP and Chats. And it seems like once I get out of that routine, it might be hard to get back into it. So I thought I'm just going to I'm just going to bust one out tonight, visit with everybody, work on my What's Your Sign canvas. I have missed participating in all of my events this month. I don't know what happened, but I just forgot to post my start pictures on all of them, and my well, it was only this one event that I was participating in that's an actual event. The other one was kind of a paint along, and anyway, so I will be posting my pictures as I work on this kit with the What's Your Sign, because there wasn't like an official start picture. You just post your weekly progress pics. So I'll be doing that, but the other paint along I totally missed out on, but that's okay. I mean, I don't really participate in the events anyway for prizes. I like to participate in them just for the social part of it. I'm not in it for the prizes. I just like to support my friends who are holding the events, or my, if it's a certain artist or a certain style, whatever. But for me, it's not about the prizes. It's just the fun of participating in the event. I've really been enjoying this kit a lot. Now, this is the Diamond Art Club's older round drills, but I'm still enjoying it nonetheless. I think it's very beautiful and sparkly. I think it's really a pretty color palette, and the artwork is gorgeous. I love Dakota Detweiler. This will be the third completed kit that I have, but I've got Waterfall Sunset in my WIP collection that I've been working on, and that's another Dakota Detweiler. I really love her artwork. So many talented artists in the diamond painting world. I just find more and more all the time that I love. Anyway, that's why I just haven't been participating a lot in a lot of events lately, because I just find my mind a little all over the place, and so I just can't lock myself in to get the start photo up and keep an weekly updated picture. I'm struggling with that. I don't know what it is. I think after this month, I'm going to take a break from events and paint alongs for a few months, because I just need to, once I get like this, it's a sign that I'm kind of in burnout mode, and I need to just relax a little bit, and then I'll get back into it again. But I want to participate in drills and chills this fall, and of course I'm not sure yet what Christmas events there will be, but I'm sure I'll want to participate in some Christmas events. So I think for the rest of the summer, I'm going to lay low until drills and chills, and then I'll be back into the mood of wanting to do an event. But for now, I can tell when it's time for me to lay low for a little bit, and I think that's what I need to do. So anyway, and no big plans this weekend. I feel like there was something I was thinking about wanting to do this weekend. Just getting over to the pool, I think, was the big thing. I thought that would be kind of fun to get over to the pool. My nose has been itching me so much the last couple days. I don't know if it's allergies or what it is, but I am feeling like just a lot of irritation. I don't know. I don't think I'm getting a cold. I'm not sure what it is, but very itchy. Kind of like hay fever. I don't know. But I'm sure it'll pass. I get really tired towards the end of the week. I've talked about this before. I just feel like as the week goes by and the weekend gets closer, I'm just like more and more exhausted this week. I don't know I think it's because I worked a lot over the weekend, and even though my job is a fairly easy job, I get tired. And so I think what happened is over the weekend, I did not get a lot of me time in to really decompress and relax. And so I started off my week and I've just been super exhausted at the beginning of the week, and it's just progressively gotten worse all week long. I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking has happened. So I'm definitely going to be taking it kind of easy this weekend, and hopefully getting back onto a better schedule for Monday. My house is really quiet right now. I don't know what happened to my girls. They were here, and now I've noticed things are oddly quiet, and I'm wondering if they left. Usually on Thursday nights they go to a movie or dinner with their dad, but tonight there was nothing going on, so they were just here. I don't know what happened, but when my youngest knocked on my door a little while ago to let Fallon in, it looked like she was going to tell me something, but when she saw I was recording, she just said, never mind. I wonder if they decided to go get something to eat with their dad or ice cream or something. That might be where they went. But in any case, it's quiet right now. I have no idea what's going on out there. Hope everyone's alive. I don't know how long I've been doing this WIP and Chat, but I apologize if it's been kind of all over the place. I just didn't know if I'd have a lot to update you on since I just did the kit and chat. But let's see, is there anything else I need to talk about? I can't think of anything. I think that's it. Let's see. Next week, what do I have in the way of content? This weekend, I'm going to be putting up some post reviews. And then next week, I've got my mid-month WIP parade on Tuesday. And oh my gosh, are we at the middle of July already almost? We really are. That's crazy. Where has this month gone? I feel like summer's just flying by. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that summer's going by so fast. Wow, I can't believe that next week will be the middle of the month. That's crazy. Anyway, other than my mid-month WIP parade, which I'm just still in shock over, I will have what will I have next week? I'll have another unboxing because I've got a couple more projects for August to share with you. And then I'll do my WIP and Chat next week. I'll probably do another post review next week because I've got 3 post reviews to do from June. Inner Garden, which is Diamond Art Club, but I wanted to do a post review on that. I've also got Crystal Canvas Art Designs and Sparkle Queen Creations. So I've got those post reviews to share with you. I'll probably do next week. I've also got my mid-month WIP parade and a WIP and Chat. And then an unboxing. So that will be a full week next week. But I'm going to do a couple of post reviews this weekend because they're done, and why not just do the post reviews? Gosh, I'm still in shock. Sorry, you guys. I'm like, is it really the middle of the month next week? We're less than a week away from the middle of the month. How can that be so? I don't want school to be back in session and all that comes with that. Oh, I don't want that. Anyway, well, I'm gonna go find out where my family went. I don't know where my kids went. It's just really quiet, and I'm kind of getting not concerned, but confused. I think they might have left, which is fine, but I also need to go to bed a little earlier tonight because tomorrow I've got a big grocery shopping day, and else. Anyway. All right, well, I'm sorry that this has been kind of a not exciting WIP and Chat, but like I said, I kind of went over everything in my last kitten chat. So thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know in the comments what you're working on. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you were working on for this WIP and Chat, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good night, you guys. Bye.